Welcome to Yoga with Krysta. Today is day 1 of our 7-day yoga challenge, so we have a nice morning flow. So we'll get started sitting back on the heels and take a deep breath in. Arms reach all the way up, palms press up overhead. And then as you exhale, lower the right hand down to the right side, reach through the left fingers. Just find that nice rotation. Come back to center, palms press up overhead. And then lower the left hand as you stretch the right arm across. Big side body stretch. Come back to center. Inhale, both arms touch. Over to the right side again. So just opening up the side body. Come back to center, palms press. And then once more over toward the left side. So nice big rotation. Back to center. This time we're just going to take the hands forward to help us. Tuck your toes under and then try to get all of your toes all the way tucked under. So even the pinky toe. And then take a seat back onto your heels. This might be very uncomfortable. If it is, you can always come back out. So begin to bend your elbows out in front of you to take eagle arms. The right arm hooks under the left. Cross your hands. The shoulders roll down the back. Think about lifting your elbows and pushing the hands away from your face. So this will really wake your body up. Release your hands, release the arms, and then switch. So bend your elbows, left arm hooks under the right, cross your hands. And again, those same 3 actions. We're pulling the shoulder blades down the back, lifting the elbows, pushing the hands away, and then release what you have and release the feet. So walk the hands forward. You can just kind of tap the tops of the feet out. Take another seat back on your heels. Untuck the toes. And then interlace your fingers behind you as you pull them all the way down. Open your chest. Release that. Shake it out. And then hands come forward. Take a few rounds of your cat-cow. So as you inhale here, try to get a full range of motion. So getting into the hips and the spine as you open your chest, and then as you exhale, getting into the back side of the body as you round. And just creating a little bit of movement through the joints. Maybe you start to look over your shoulder. Let the shoulder and hip connect a little bit. And then walk the hands about 1 palm's width forward as you start to circle the entire body. So as you circle forward, opening your heart, and as you circle back, pressing the hip bones back. Full steady inhales, full steady exhales. And then eventually take a seat back into child's pose, Balasana. From here, start to shift forward, press all the way into your first down dog. You can move around, pedal your heels, shift the weight through the hips, maybe even shake the head out a little bit, yes and no. Releasing any kind of tension in your jaw. And then gaze comes forward. We're going to shift into our high plank pose and lower all the way to the belly with control. Untuck the toes, find a cobra pose as you lift your heart. And then slowly toes tuck under, lift the hips, down dog. So really trying to straighten the spine, let the heels drop a little deeper. Putting weight into the fingers, the pads of the fingers and knuckles. And then walk the feet together as you reach the right leg high, step it up, and then drop the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Take the hands at that front thigh, open your chest, and just start to press your hips forward. Then sweep your arms all the way up and back, lifting the heart, lifting the ribs. And then lower the hands back down. Back toes are going to tuck under as you step forward and find your flat back. Exhale, start to fold over. Inhale, arms reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands lower down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale it up, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Inhale, find that flat back. and lower the hands, step back to your plank pose. Keep the core strong and engaged. Lower down, chaturanga, or all the way to the belly. Inhale, lift the heart, open your chest. And then as you exhale, down dog. So just starting to warm up the body. Can walk those feet to touch again, and then inhale, left leg lifts. We're going to step it up in between the hands, Anjaneyasana. So drop the right knee, untuck the right toes, sweep your arms up, or just keep them at that front thigh, really pressing the heart open, pressing the hip bones forward. And if you're choosing to reach your arms all the way up and back, see if you can find a little baby back bend here. Lower the hands down, back toes tuck under, step forward to your flat back, and exhale, we're folding. Inhale, reach it on up, palms press up overhead, lower the hands down through the heart, and down to the sides. Inhale it up and lengthen. Exhale, begin to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, find your flat back. Lower the hands, step it back to plank pose. Core stays strong as you lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra, and exhale to downward facing dog. Check back in with the breath. Inhale, right leg lifts. You can open your hip and just kind of roll around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. Come back to a straight leg, and then step it up. Lower the back knee again. Untuck the back toes, sweep your arms nice and high, open through the chest. Drop the hands down, back toes tuck under, lift the back knee, and just start to straighten that right leg. So both legs are lifted and long. Flex your right toes so they're pointing back at you. You should feel a nice big stretch through the right hamstrings. From here, drop that foot down, walk over to the long edge of the mat for Prasarita Padottanasana. Folding over, so our wide-legged fold, the palms are flat on the ground, lower belly pulls up and in, and then begin to walk your hands forward to your flat back, lengthen. Hands at your hips, root to rise up. Right toes point forward, press into that right thigh, warrior two. So arms are really long. Revolve your warrior, big side body stretch as you drop the left hand down to the left leg. And then start to cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, step back to plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale to downward facing dog. Come back to the breath. Inhale, left leg high, open your hips up, roll around knee, hip, and ankle. Come back to the straight leg, and then step it up in between the hands. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes, sweep your arms high. Anjaneyasana. From here, drop the hands, back toes tuck under, lift the knee, and then slide the hips back as you lengthen that left leg, flexing your foot. So really big stretch in the hamstrings, folding over. And then start to shift your weight all the way over to the long edge of the mat as you interlace your fingers. Both feet are pointing to the long edge. So moving those hands away from your body any amount. So big stretch in the shoulders. Let that feel really good. With control, root down to rise up. Release the hands and the shoulders, give it a little shake. Left toes can turn forward, press into that left thigh, warrior two. So gaze drops over the left fingers. Begin to revolve your warrior, open through the entire side body, and then cartwheel your hands down and take your vinyasa. Keep in mind you can always skip vinyasas, no problem. Full inhales, full exhales, and then lower to the knees, come into your child's pose and rest for a moment. You might roll your forehead a little bit back and forth. And then we'll start to come up. We're going to shift the weight onto the shins, working into our camel pose. So take it slowly here. We're going to tuck your toes under. Take the hands down at the low back. Fingers point to the floor. Palms are spread wide. Begin by lifting the chest. Roll your shoulders open. The elbows draw toward each other. Press your hip bones forward and just tip your gaze back any amount. Does not have to be very big. Keep breathing. And then slowly come back up. Take a seat back onto your heels. Interlace your fingers behind you. Pull the knuckles down. Open through the entire chest. And then release what you have. Roll your shoulders out. Palms come down in front of you. And then press all the way into your down dog. Full inhales and exhales. Look forward. We're stepping or floating the feet through, coming down to the sits bones. Legs long. From here, Janu Sirsasana. Right leg stays long. Left foot comes into the inner thigh, and then fold over that right leg. So big stretch through the hamstrings. Seeing if you can pull your belly down on top of the thigh. And if your hands come down to the foot, that's great. If not, just keep them where they are. You can always stretch out the back a little bit differently by walking the left fingers over to the outer edge of the right foot. So we'll come back up and take a twist. So left foot comes across the right thigh. If you want to deepen the twist, bend the right knee. Right arm starts to lift as you twist over to the left side. So inhale, begin to lengthen through the spine, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Look back over your shoulder, soften where you can. Notice the breath, come back to center, untwist, walk your hands off to the right side. Come all the way back up, uncross your legs. Give them a little shake, and then we'll switch sides. So left leg lengthens, right foot in, and then start to fold over that left leg. Janu Sirsasana. Full inhales, full exhales. And then slowly we'll start to lift back up, taking the twist, taking the left foot over to the outside of the thigh, and then bending the right knee, or the left knee rather. So left arm reaches high, twist over toward the right side this time. So inhale, start to lengthen the spine, reach up, and exhale, deepen your twist a little bit more. Gaze can come back over the right shoulder, and then untwist. Walk it off to the left side, little counter twist. Come back up, uncross your legs, give them a shake. And then feet together for bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Fold over. So you might even use your elbows to press against the inner thighs, opening the hips up a little bit differently. Come back up, can close the knees and start to lower down onto your mat. So we're going to take our pigeon pose on our back, so you can start to bend your knees and then take the soles of the feet down to the floor. Right foot comes across the left knee as you slide your hands under the left thigh and bring it in a little closer to you. So big stretch here through the IT band. Feel free to roll that ankle around. So we're just going to take the hands on the outside of the right knee and just cross the legs over to the left side. So it's a spinal twist. The gaze can drop across the right shoulder. And maybe those knees stay as they were. Maybe they separate. You can extend a leg, whatever feels good. Come back to center one more time, that pigeon pose on our backs. So hands thread under the left thigh, and then switch sides. So this time, left foot comes over toward the right knee. And again, feel free to roll that right ankle around. From here, take the twist. So moving the legs over toward the right side of the body. Gaze can drop over to the left. Come back to center one more time, little stretch through the hips. And then feet can come back down. Just kind of swish the knees rather, left and right, getting rid of any kind of tension. And then extend the legs long. So finding some rest here. And our quote today comes from Desmond Tutu, and he says, "My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. We are different precisely in order to realize our need for one another." So begin to deepen the breath. You can sense some movement into the body, maybe wiggle the fingers, roll the ankles, reach up, and then roll to your side, cradling the knees into the chest and eventually pressing yourself up, finding a comfortable and easy seat, finding Sukhasana. Take a moment here just to thank yourself for choosing to practice, for choosing to honor yourself. Allow your hands to come together in front of your heart. And thank you so much for joining me today in practice. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And for more premium content, you can go to krystafrench.com.